Welcome back to the LCS. 100 Thieves versus NRG. 100 Thieves down 0-1 in the series today. NRG break their 4-game losing streak, holding over from Super Week. But I will say, aside from the Smolder getting 18 kills, that game was really close.
Yeah. Outside of it, I think NRG definitely just banned it on red side.
Yeah, and that's the consensus of the entire chat. We got Freak and Flowers in the chat just vibing as well, and everyone has come to the same consensus, and I wonder what will be the decision from 100 Thieves. Also, the point that you made, which is just pick Smolder.
You could. Emily, you have the Game 1 draft in front of you. Is there any difference in the first 3 bans from these teams in Game 2?
100 Thieves remain really wary of TF.
Yeah.
Right? I think that kind of counterpick from red side from C9 really scared them. And then Callista, if they ban Nico here, it'll be the exact same bans. They're banning Jace instead, which I think is interesting.
Change their first pick, which could mean first pick.
Yeah, exactly. First pick Smolder. And then Nautilus and Vi are the same. We'll see if NRG want to take away the Smolder because they think they might not get it this time around.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that I was tuning into Dhokla's stream just yesterday. Guess what he's picking? Twisted Fate AD top. So like,
okay,
just in general.
The mental warfare a little bit. Even if he didn't play it in scrims, he's like, you know what? He lost it on stage. We better do this. Poppy was the same ban as Game 1 for NRG as well.
And I want to see what the first pick's going to be. You have to believe it's something around Smolder. But yeah, just like in general, you look through.
Wow.
Okay, that's interesting.
Salty run back.
Seems like that's the case, and anytime you go into a best of 5 in Game 2, it's like, well, our entire scrim week was based around this perception, and we don't want to change it off one game. And they had a really weird start to that first game, so might be the case. And with how FBI is playing, I don't know how you guys feel about it. His Smolder gameplay throughout the split, I've been impressed with.
Yeah, I mean, and he's progressively getting better at the pick.
Yes.
You can see he's getting more efficient with clearing each wave. This hover is what we were talking about in Game 1 could be a potential change, because when you take away the Tahm Kench, you're locking yourself into a melee bot lane, and Senna Seraphine historically has been good against the melee bot lanes. The fact that they're hovering this long, though, makes me feel like I've wasted time, but there it is.
Oh,
wow.
They did lock it in, yeah. And I'm kind of surprised, only because talking to players about new Seraphine, they don't really seem to like her nearly as much. And we'll see what happens with this 100 Thieves bot lane. I am very interested to see that they just didn't pick Smolder for themselves, because I fully expect that third pick on red side for NRG to be Smolder. And then River coming out with the Lee Sin is really interesting. We were talking about how maybe Jax isn't it, if only because he should get so involved with his lanes early. But then you brought up, I mean, Quid's Talia was still amazing, so we'll see how that works out for 100 Thieves as well.
Boss Smolder, don't think so, buddy. We're making sure that that's not happening.
No.
But the Smolder pick is going to come through anyways, and this is going to be interesting for me because 100 Thieves are basically saying that this was just an objectively strong lane versus Tahm Kench lanes. That they feel as though Senna plus, in this case it's Seraphine, but any mage / enchanter would just be able to provide a lot more during the laning phase, and then team fights theoretically before Smolder gets obnoxious should be able to give them control, but it's interesting that they're holding firm on that belief after last one.
Yeah, and I think what I mentioned this prior to the break, but I do think there is a lot more that 100 Thieves can do with this Senna bot lane. They can rotate the Senna around if they want to. They can more heavily prioritize grubs, or just rotating her around the map a lot more frequently. I think there's still so many things you can do with a Senna in your composition, especially if you want to go for really high-powered solo lanes, which is how 100 Thieves naturally like to play.
Yeah, and as a Senna Seraphine enjoyer myself, I think there are specific team comps in which it's better. I really like it with diving bruisers. So Lee Sin actually doesn't fit amazingly to me. Weirdly enough, something like Jax or Veigar would be better, but I can understand you want the early game power of the Lee Sin. But in terms of top lane matchups, like the Aatrox ban, I think is very good by NRG, because that's almost the perfect type of top lane champion you want when you have essentially double enchanter bot.
And it usually works with what 100 Thieves would like to pick when they have this Seraphine. Like, Aatrox is one, as you had mentioned, but another pick that's still out on the table is the Yone from Quid.
Yep.
So usually
that's really good with this.
Yeah, so they'd run that with the composition, easier to reach the backline. The only concern is going to be if you're playing Yone, obviously you are just diving straight into the linear line, which is going to be easier for Ahri to deal with in fights, but also for Tahm Kench to be saving Smolder if you're doing it right from the jump in the fight. So we've already talked about it, and I love this side. Oh, Jax.
Or mid, who knows? It's probably Jax top, though.
That's true. But yeah, just going to be interesting to see how FBI ends up positioning with the pick. Going to be really important. Let's see what the last pick is looking like for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, so I mean, it's likely the blind pick Jax top, and now they're able to pick into the Ahri, unless they've gone off the rails. This is more of a, this is more of them trying to remind NRG of what happened.
Locked in!
It's locked in. We got Veigar mid.
Weird. Yeah, I think it's historically good into Ahri. I don't know if it's good into Ahri now.
I remember this last build on that one was the tank build on Veigar.
Yep.
So it was more haste, of course, and also just harder to be able to chip down.
Yeah. I think the big carry kind of that you're facilitating, obviously the Veigar, but then the Jax.
And
we'll
a Gangplank from Dhokla. So reaching back for old school things that could actually get early lane push against the Jax. I'm always curious in these Senna Seraphine compositions, Emily. Like usually Senna Seraphine means we win 5v5, and then the other team tries to pick better split push. But this NRG team, also incredibly powerful 5v5, so we could be in for a very team fight heavy game. That's it from the lounge. Casters, what do you think?
Thank you, Jad and friends over at the lounge. We're here with the dive cast once again, going into game 2. Immediate thoughts on the draft. What do you guys think?
Well, I haven't seen a GP in a while outside of solo queue. That's kind of interesting to see.
Will it or will it not be Smolder in time in game 2?
Oh, I mean, it is by default. I believe Smolder in time.
Yeah, I mean, the Gangplank ultimate also helps out Smolder for bottom side. As long as Gangplank can just chill on top side and then use ultimate to have another form of wave clear for the Smolder. Not only can you call your mom, but you can call your dad Gangplank too.
Oh, man.
How's that work? Anyway.
It works. I mean,
I think the big if there is if top lane can be stable, though, because I don't see Jax versus GP as a farm lane, especially not with these junglers, Lee Sin versus Zhao. I expect...
Sniper doesn't see it as a farm lane.
Oh, I mean, neither of them should. I expect to see quite a bloody top lane.
Well, and especially just in melee matchups versus GP, if you try to make it a farm lane, you lose. He's just going to be queuing you on cooldown and harassing you. You need to take trades. You need to be able to jump forward on him and get somewhat aggressive, or you just get pounded under your tower, right? Like, you can't allow GP to just have that free lane, so it will be bloody. I will say this is going to be a much harder lane for Smolder down in the 2v2. There is not a freebie champion to farm off of. There's no like orange to just get Q stacks off of in the early game. It is double range now, so there is going to be more poke. There is going to be more harassment that's coming through.
Yeah, Seraphine got 4 or 5 paragraphs of changes in 14.5 in attempts to take down the power of, as we're getting a lot of champions on screen right now. I think we have double overlay.
We'll get that fixed up, but we have to go to Raz with 100 Thieves coach, Golden Glue.
What's up? I got Golden Glue for this interview here. Quick question. You got some change-ups in the draft, Veigar being one of them, and the other one actually letting the Smolder through again. Just thoughts on that?
Yeah, Smolder was a big problem last game. We kind of got outscaled by it. This game we picked more scaling, obviously, with a Veigar and Seraphine, so I think we can still pressure the Smolder early, but this game we have better scaling to match it.
Okay. Second question, just simple. How's River feeling? Of course, just because I heard you guys didn't get much practice with him, with him being sick.
I think he's feeling okay. I think we feel a little like under the weather, but I think last game the main problem was like the Jax just probably wasn't the best pick. We probably could have banned differently in 4-5. So this game I think he's set up more for success.
Sweet, thanks a lot. You can go for it.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you.
So I want to talk a bit about the Seraphine changes because there's so many of them. I know a lot of people didn't read them. But there are some specific ones that adjust how easy it is to CS. The damage to minions for your passive was taken down, also on the Q. But one big thing for the Q, it used to prevent minions from dying to other minions while the Q was in flight so that it was easier for people to CS. They took that away. So we'll see if that actually affects Ayla's CSing at all. I mean, he's against the Tahm, Kench, and Smolder here. I don't think it'll be a problem for a pro player, and they are still going to get the push, even with the reduced damage to minions, but definitely something to keep in mind if he does have less gold than usual.
What do you think about this? So River did the exact same clear that he did last time. 3 camps bot, bases gets the longsword, goes top.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he's doing the recall there.
Yeah, like, we never really see this.
I think, so if you do Raptors, Red, Krugs, usually your 2 options are a bot gank afterwards. Well, I guess 3 options, bot gank, mid gank, or invade. I guess if you don't think either lane is invadable or would require a counter gank, and since you have started blue, this is fine. But it does seem a little weird that he opted to do this both games.
Yeah, with his timing, it actually works out fine. So then he ends up here with a longsword, and you see Jax right now. Sniper's going to find Contractz, who's finishing his Krugs as Contractz goes back in for it. Oh, I wanted to see the mini Krugs. There's so much gold in those. Nobody pays attention to those, but 14 gold each. Those things are not pennies on the ground.
I had it on my screen. Sniper got a couple of them, and he's gonna have to flash over the wall, but Contractz might be able to just follow him. We'll see. There's the flash, and there is the follow, and Sniper is looking like he's gonna go down. It's a solo kill for the jungler at 350 into the game. When's the last time you saw that?
Get the hell out of my jungle!
That is the craziest way to die, bro. Like, what was that?
Oh my god, that was one for the junglers all over the place. I felt that one. All these top laners have constantly been invading junglers for so long. You know, the level 1 invades, then we have the push up here invade on
those bullies. Quit picking on the jungle.
On Krugs, but Contractz like, all right, you just used your counter strike. Found you, and he's not going to give up on the chase. I guess maybe you could be like, if River was there, you know, maybe it could have been dangerous. Oh, what if he baited you or something? Yeah. But so Contractz was not second guessing that. He was kicking that Jax out of the jungle.
Definitely a pretty big oopsie. We also have to talk a little bit more about the bot lane as well, because it has been pivotal for both of these 2 teams. This has been the bot lane different matchups, as we have Sniper on the run, going to be punk-chunked out. And this is actually rough because they could dive this, and he has no TP. If he gets dove here or has to back off even, it'd be really rough, but they are worried about where Lee Sin could be. If Lee Sin was behind him, it would not go well.
They are picking assist on the grubs too, but the top trap was picked up by River here, so they don't care.
Oh, there's a flash forward from Ayla. It's going to cause the response there. As Huhi flashed in on Ayla. Ayla flashes out to try to get to safety. It is a Swifty Boots rush there for Meech. Eyla has not actually taken the time to go back to base just yet. It is, of course, the farming Seraphine, as expected. That is going to be getting pressured here until Senna's back in lane.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a bullet dodged by Sniper there. That situation just seems so scary. You know, you've lost your TP and flash. You have a huge wave stacking against you. And he actually just bluffed it, staying under the turret there. I think NRG probably could have dove him, but it wouldn't have been clean, and not knowing where Lee Sin is.
I think that's just, again, shows the importance of hiding information as a jungler, right? Because if River had walked somewhere carelessly and revealed where he was, like if they knew he was on bot side, I think Sniper's game is actually over there if he gets dove.
Yeah, that would have been real bad. But usually that's how top lane works. Like your first death when you have TP, it's not a big deal, but if something bad happens again right after that, like it's time to go next.
Let's see if they get repeat ganks on him while his flash is down too, because flash was blown there.
Is going to be spotted. Does he have a ward in pocket? He does not. They don't know that he doesn't have a trinket ward, but that's actually pretty big, as you can just obviously leap strike to safety in a lot of cases. But now you're in this awkward spot where it's kind of stuck outside of GP's tower.
Also, other big thing about the early game for these team compositions, whenever you have a Veigar mid, you're not doing a lot of roaming, and the Ahri should have bigger possibilities of making plays with.
Oh, they're going to drop the ulti here. River's here, but Contractz is here as well. They're both getting incredibly low, and Dhokla's going to go for it. There's a flash to follow from River, and he takes him down, hits him with the cripple to slow him, and then in goes Contractz now. He's going to try to take the 1v2, but the Counter-Strike's going to be back up here soon, I think, from Sniper, and Contractz may have bitten off more than he can swallow. Contractz goes too far. The cooldown's coming back up, and he gets taken down. Now, does Palafox want a piece? Is he going to go in as well? Don't think he should, and Quid arrives, so not going to be any more action.
Disaster for NRG there. The idea of the play was good, but the execution just wasn't there. Dhokla went a little too early. Contractz wasn't close enough. and then River just killed him. I think Contractz, that was a little bit of like the guilt play. It's like, oh man, I don't want to.
Sorry, bro, don't worry, I got
let
it.
him get away.
Yeah. How could you just do that to my top laner? Oh, whoops, I made it worse. Honestly, though, big credit to River, because River coming around the edge there, Dhokla walking up, wasn't ready for that. River flashes in, gets the punish. I wonder if we can get a vision toggle. It's probably too late right now. Oh, here we go. So this is exactly
MVP
what
Rivers.
I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. MVP River, because he walks up and he skirted that vision. It was so smart. He came through lane, by the way, so he knew he wasn't going over wards, going through lane, and then he goes around that little alcove and just on the edge of vision. So Dhokla didn't know until it was too late, and he followed the flash. Then you know it's the follow-on kind of tiltish play that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that hurts. I think that if I was their coach during this review, I think Dhokla may have gone a little bit too early because the timer you have for that play is Jax needs to clear the wave, get his wave to crash. He still had all the range minions to get through, so Dhokla didn't actually need to all in right away. He could have waited for Contractz to get closer, but obviously not what happened, and yeah, pretty rough.
It's tough, right? Because I think he felt like, oh, he just jumped forward, he just used his leap strike, he just used his counter strike. Now is my time to go, right? He doesn't have a way to leap strike back out of safety. But obviously, River, beat them to the punch. It was there first, and at the end of the day, it is River that comes away with both of the kills. At the very least, I think I'm really happy that Jax didn't get those kills, because if I'm GP and Jax got both those kills, I don't want to play the game anymore. So it's going to be at least a little bit of a consolation there for them, but we'll see what River can get done with it, because he has been, I would say, one of the best junglers in the league at actually snowballing these advantages.
Yeah, you say that until River goes legendary. This Lee Sin's all over the place. They're going back top lane, though.
At least it's not in my lane.
Yeah. I can't see the problem. It's not my problem.
Exactly. I just close my eyes a little bit. You squint, don't see the problem. Here's Senna on the roam. This has been one of the big talks about Senna versus Smolder, is the fact that Smolder's locked to bot lane. Senna just moves around the map. Of course, Seraphine is more easily dove than like a Nautilus or a Tahm Kench, but we know that both supports have made that roam. So Eyla not really going to be under threat whatsoever here, I don't think.
Are both mid laners running Spellbook this game?
It is Spellbook for both mid laners, yes.
Interesting. Haven't seen that too much recently. Used to be a thing, but
I feel like it's just the thought of this is going to be an unattractive matchup. Maybe can't get anything done, so you can kind of have a little bit of additional value perhaps later on. Swap over Brewing Sauce at a key moment or something like that.
Definitely. 100 Thieves going to stop the NRG from getting 6 scrubs. I think it's probably smart for NRG not to contest this. Man, it's tough being the jungler on the GP side of this top lane matchup, because it's a volatile lane, but Jax can force it much harder than GP can.
Yeah.
So, like you want to be hovering, but you can't just completely neglect your camps.
Yeah, and Dhokla senses the dive coming, so he's going to drop the ulti to clear out the rest of the wave, but they're already behind him. Contractz is here to try to reinforce, and so is Palafox, and there's the kick in from River, but the Spirit Rush going to get popped. In comes the Dawning Shadow to try to keep River alive, but it's a shutdown, and it goes to GP. That is huge. Palafox now going to look for another charm. We'll see if they can actually dodge out on it. Holding it, being very patient. There's the flash, or flash response comes in from Meech. Nicely done, and the barrel is going to be able to pick up another as the parlay comes through, and Meech just gets exploded.
Wow, that was so smart from NRG. Do you see how early they called to cover this topside play? And then they're all coming up, and Palafox.
Oh, look at look here. He has ult. He's going to go for it. We'll see if he can actually connect on the ulti. Doesn't actually send it. I thought he was going to go for sure. Instead, it's just going to be the mom traded out for a little bit of a heal. Pretty surprised. I thought he might have been able to have an angle to go for it there, but I guess because he didn't have his passive stacked up, he didn't have an empowered ability right away. Didn't think he'd go for it. Here is the replay one more time from top lane.
So Sniper pushing it up, as you're talking about, on the Jax, trying to force it, and then River comes around through the jungle, but they did see Meech also coming up through River, so that causes NRG, 3 members coming over to counter the play. Contractz from the top side, Palafox from bottom, and if you kick the Ahri, just ult right back, no problem for him, and they get the chase down here. This is what I'm talking about when it's so painful. We're talking about, viewpoints of junglers and like, oh man, my GP side is so hard to play. Well, if the opponents have the Veigar and you have the Ahri, you're like, yes, hell yes. Yeah. I've got the Ahri who can roam first. I've got the Ahri who can set up so many plays. And that right there was, an Ahri versus Veigar moment where Veigar had been farming mid, Ahri comes up and they get the bounty off of River. Oh, then they get the shutdown for Sniper though.
Oh no, that is a disaster for Dhokla. He got 2 kills off that last. Yeah, he got 2 kills off the last play. Finishes Essence Reaver, had double buffs, and then gives it up there to Sniper. Just a little bit overconfident, stepping too far forward, and Sniper's able to finish him off with an easy jump in.
Another solo kill from the LCS solo kill leader, Sniper.
Yeah, you know, I was going to give Dhokla, well, I mean, he still does deserve a lot of credit for the previous play. I think the awareness to ult the wave and keep it from crashing, and then his barrel combo to finish off Meech was really clean. But, you know, that's the thing with GP. He's a very, very mechanically demanding champion. It's pretty easy to mess up.
Palafox is looking, and that barrel combo did connect, so Sniper could be in trouble. River going to try to get in here. A nice dodge there on the charm as Palafox was guessing, and he gets wrong. The Spirit Rush not going to be enough, and now the sidestep on the win becomes lightning. Contract's going to have to pop the Crescent Guard to run out of there, but Quid is coming in. Is he going to look for a flash cage? We'll see. Down in bot lane, another fight breaking out. Contract's in trouble, no Crescent Guard. He's going to get first down immediately, and now Dhokla in trouble, trying to battle it out. Can't take down River. He's going to stay in live. And 100 Thieves pushing down on bot side as well. That was a massive swing, as it has just been a bloodbath up in the top lane. And Sniper versus Dhokla, these are 2 of our most aggressive top laners. These are 2 of the guys who are going for those solo kills time and time again.
So brutal there. Just pretty much everything going wrong for NRG. Good response to the play from 100 Thieves. Sniper was able to juke out the charm from Palafox.
This was the previous solo kill.
Yeah,
that we saw.
Sniper's been really good with the barrel game too. I like how they showed the barrel game leading up to this and him blowing the flash for flash trade onto Dhokla so that he knew he could go in for this kill.
Yeah, so here is that following play now. As Palafox, he was trying to predict, I think, on the jump there, trying to predict maybe a flash or a leap strike or something. Unfortunately, guesses wrong, doesn't have enough damage.
Yeah, and River's there for the counter. The kick under tower makes it happen, and even though Contractz doesn't tunnel vision this time and try and go for the kill onto Sniper, they just chase him down. Quid has arrived in the game. The Veigar has arrived. The Rod of Ages was completed, so it started stacking now as well.
Ooh.
And
he's taking those hard. Holy, Contractz on some of those player reactions is looking down in the dumps. You wouldn't think that they won the first game.
There's some pretty rough plays for him. Like, you know those hurt. Like, just getting clipped by 2 Lee Sin Qs in a row, just barely being not on time to the play. Maybe a little frustrated.
Look for a dive here onto Quid, who does have flash, does have heal, but I don't know if it's going to matter. The cage going to buy him a little bit of time. The Senna all comes over the top, trying to shield himself up, but it's just not going to be enough. It's 3v1. There's nowhere for him to go. But now the question is, can the NRG members get out? Huhi's on the run, but in comes River, and now there's the kick back onto Contractz. Contractz goes over the wall there. With the wind becomes lightning. The audacious charge through in onto Meech. Just buys himself a little bit of a time, as another kill there does go to River, so they do strike back, but back to the top lane. I mean, this is our #1 and #2 kills leader, solo kill leader in the league.
certainly is, and it's showing up. You mentioned it. It's a war zone in the top lane this game, but the entire map has been a war zone, actually. And usually it's NRG making these super aggressive plays. They really have been in the full send mode, and they're the team that has the Smolder. This time around, 120 stacks at 1540, pretty good. But they are facing a 2 dragon lead from 100 Thieves, a 2,000 gold lead from 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves have 2 stacking champions, not 1 this time around, with Quid going with Rod of Ages plus his Veigar passive stacking up to 180 already. So this time around, I think the small adjustments that 100 Thieves have made will mean that there is a very different mid and late game.
It's definitely going to be a lot different, but Smolder still stacking pretty well. Not as fast as last game because he's not playing against the Orin to get all those free stacks, but still 124 stacks here at 16
Counter
minutes.
argument, Smolder. That's fair.
Exactly.
Fair point.
Yeah. Like they have this and they have this. They can play side lane. They have perfect control of dragons.
Fair enough.
The other team has Smolder. They're like, all right, I concede.
Also, we'll see about Dhokla's, mid and late game Gangplank, because that's where Gangplank really shines, when you get the huge barrel chains, catching people off guard, getting really big chunks. Rush control, obviously, early timing to objectives makes it easier to hit those. But it looks like 100 Thieves are going to burn through this one as well.
This is a Shirelia's Ahri.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's something that has showed up in solo queue. I mean, people say it's an efficient item, like stat-wise.
Oh, flash in for Ahri, trying to find that charm onto Eyla, but Eyla flashes out. Yeah, it is quite efficient, but obviously you're going to deal a lot less burst than you would with a Lich Bane, with a Horizon Focus. I was actually going to talk about how Quid is probably going to build Shirelia's this game, because we saw him do it last game, but Ahri I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, we see all kinds of crazy builds on Veigar because he gets so much AP from his passive. You don't necessarily need to build like glass cannon.
Yep.
So you'll see like supportive items, full tank items on him. Like you can kind of just get whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm down with glass cannon. I'm down with almost anything on Veigar actually. And Quid, you know, went into some tank items last time around. I actually really like tank items on him too, but I always want a death cap to multiply your passive AP, and he didn't do that last time around. Was my only gripe.
Yeah, that I didn't like the Landry's. I just felt like the Landry's last time should have been a death cap. But either way, you know, it was a win for them. That was that Veigar Shaco game. He's going to complete his own Shurelya's now. Interesting fact for you guys. So obviously, when Sniper is doing well, 100 Thieves are generally doing well. They're actually 6-1 when he gets a solo kill.
All right, so good odds.
Sign.
Good odds then.
Good odds.
They have 3 dragons, 2K gold lead, and a sniper solo kill. So
check.
all the objectives so far taken.
That's the quest.
I have to say though, the Gangplank moments, I'm really looking forward to see if we do get one of those huge barrel chains. Like they can be game changing here, and he does have his quick blades on top of his Essence Reaver now, so he's starting to get there.
They have a lot of AoE. I mean, between the Smolder ulti, the GP ulti, you know, everything coming through over the top, Smolder Ws, the Q splash. Like, there's a lot of burst and a lot of poke as well. And, you know, Palafox, I think maybe part of the thought process here is they have so much damage on their team with this comp that maybe he can just go Shurelya's River. Gonna have to disengage there with the kick. Shurelya's gonna get popped though. Palafox chasing on in. The exhaust's gonna get dropped on him. Mom comes over the top. Meech is there with his ulti of his own. Quid gonna drop the cage. It's gonna be a devour there, and Contractz gonna dash back in with the crescent guard pop. Now the TPs are coming in as Jax is gonna arrive. Have 100 Thieves bit off more than they can chew. It doesn't look like it because Sniper is gonna arrive, and I think Contractz now, he's gonna be going down, and Huhi might just be going down as well. He's gonna try to take the gate out of there, but there's no shot of that.
You could see how frantic they were in that team fight when they split. And Contractz went back in after he ulted, and Huhi went to follow with him, and then the rest of the team went the other way, and there was for sure a split call on that one.
Absolutely. I think the Quid flank really threw them off. Veigar's not a champion you typically see flanking, but I mean, the Shurelya's kind of lets you do that, right? Like, he's got ghost Shurelya's. You're not really worried about being ran down. In the execution for NRG around the Veigar was kind of off too. Like, you saw Tahm Kench 8 Ahri, so he just didn't get immediately one shot by the ult, and then he spat him back out into the cage, and it was just kind of a mess all around by NRG. Not what you like to see.
Yeah, they couldn't focus on who they wanted to turn on there. They're like, oh, we have someone here, right? And went too many directions. See about the reset though. Now into the side lanes, Veigar can also rely on the Shurelya's a bit more, so maybe there's more bonus points for it there, where the active is pretty short cooldown and does give you some more options kiting away in the side lanes. And he's even putting pretty good pressure.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Thieves now moving up into that top side jungle. River was moving up. They saw them going in there. So Palafox knows there is a potential he could get wrapped around on, is going to have to pay respect to that, and will just back it off. Contractz on the other side of the map, going to try to put pressure on a Sniper, as they know 100 Thieves is in that top side jungle. But Sniper going to be a really tough person to dive. With just 2, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, NRG's definitely hesitant to go topside here because, you know, that Dragon Soul's coming up for them in just a little over a minute here. Now, I kind of like how 100 Thieves is playing this. They realize, you know, Dragon Soul, we can take it whenever. They're the ones feeling the pressure.
Eyla's just going to give over a freebie there as he kind of just walked up with no flash in a bad spot. Gets caught and goes down in a hurry, and that is not the end of the world because he's going to be back up before the dragon, but definitely a silly death.
Yeah, pretty chill kill.
Blame the Seraphine changes.
Wait, why are we blaming the Seraphine changes?
Because he died.
She got changed and then he died.
That's your excuse.
Was it in the patch notes that your monitor turns off occasionally?
Yeah. He actually got more move speed, by the way. So.
Oh, so it was like Too Fast, Too Furious, hit the NOS, couldn't control it.
Like, oh my goodness, this extra 5 move speed.
It drove out of control.
Where am I going? Oops, I'm dead.
Understandable.
Snipers may be a little in trouble here. NRG's looking for the pick.
Yeah, they got the Goon Squad coming in. The TP even going to come in from Palafox. The TP here to respawn. We'll see who's going to be able to take him down. Dhokla going to drop the ult, but Sniper is just turning and fighting into Dhokla. Quid can't do anything. It's going to be a freebie there for NRG. Big pick. This one in time to maybe earn them the dragon. We'll see if it is or not.
Yeah, Jax is dead for 30, and he won't actually have TP on spawn. Definitely raises the question for 100 Thieves here. Do you take this fight knowing NRG used a bunch of cooldowns?
They've got it. They can't give them
at least
soul.
go for a steal. You've got Lee Sin with Flash here. River can pull some tricks.
Yeah, we'll see. NRG, you know, hovering around on the side.
100 Thieves, like, they don't really mind if NRG gets it.
Well, NRG.
But if you're a hero, if you steal it though, you steal the soul. Oh,
true. Wait.
Root comes in, and they are going to be able to actually get it on the NRG side, but are they going to be able to get out? Huhi getting rooted up. Mom comes over the top. Dhokla's already down. 100 Thieves looking like they're winning the fight. Contractz did get the dragon, denies the soul. Cage going to catch Huhi on the exit. It's a double kill there for River. And now they can just go to Baron. So that is a costly fight. They deny the soul, but they're going to lose the Baron and might just be the end of the game off that pretty much.
Wow, 100 Thieves. They make the call to go for the kills instead, even with being down one person, and it pays off huge.
I mean, that was a full-on 4v5, and honestly, it was a smite fight. River was in range. Contractz happened to get it, but yeah, not...
I mean, and then River getting inside there on Dhokla, killing him in the pit while the rest of the team is pushing off. We saw so much zoning when you have the Veigar, Senna, Seraphine still up. Even though they're less numbers here, look at this. The AoE, the ultimate comes cross.
That looks so hard to play against.
That was insane, yeah.
Yeah, that is really, really rough. There's so much AoE between the cage, the encore coming through from Seraphine.
And the move speed too, you've got Senna's E, Seraphine W, and the Shirelias. You just got this ball comp with a lot of range, CC. Yeah, a pretty nice team fighting comp by 100 Thieves here.
And the Rod of Ages also popped for Quid. And
Death Cap done too now.
Now he's got Death Cap. All right, he made the only change I really wanted.
He heard you.
I love it. Quid, you're the GOAT.
He's got 937 AP already, 300 from the passive, obviously then being multiplied there by the Death Cap as well. Has hit 16. That ulti is going to deal an absolute absurd amount of damage. It deals between 1,028 and 2,055 damage, depending on their current HP. So pretty much QR could just be a dead Smolder, honestly. So that is really, really tough to deal with, and something he didn't have to contend with in that previous game. Like, there is a lot of scaling. If you get chunked down a little bit, Veigar could just flash ult you and you could just be gone if Huhi is not really on point to devour you, to save you from these abilities. But Palafox looking for Sniper. Great sidesteps on both the Orb Deception and the Charm, but Dhokla is here as well. How quickly can they take him down? Sniper going to try to waste their time as the rest of his team is actually pushing up mid lane, and Sniper is not going down in their hurry. I think eventually NRG will be able to get him, but how much are they going to lose in the meanwhile? Is FBI going to pop the ulti mid lane to try to clear out this wave? NRG do get the kill on Sniper, but it costs them a couple towers here in mid lane. And 100 Thieves pushing up, trying to take the most. They also have that wave down in bot to be able to rotate over.
Dude, Quid Veigar is in their face, past the tower, threatening the cage, not letting them even move in to damage any of these baroned up minions.
Contractz is caught, and he's in trouble. The Crescent Guard going to get popped to try to keep him safe in the midst of that cage as he knocks back River. River connects another Sonic Wave. He's going to go in for the Resonating Strike, but FBI jumps back to safety, and FBI flashes forward and gets a big shutdown there for Smolder. Does get caught by the W from Veigar, though, chunked down to about half HP, so FBI has to be careful. On the other side, it's Dhokla split pushing, picking up a turret bounty, so getting some gold back in their pockets will cost them the inhibitor, but I think they're going to be able to easily hold at the Nexus, and Dhokla just got a lot of gold back for the team. FBI just got a massive shutdown as well. There's some signs of life here for NRG.
Yeah, I like that call by NRG there. They recognize, you know, we don't need GP to come back. It's not that dire. We can hold our Nexus. We'll give the inhib. And yeah, they managed to hold off the push pretty nicely, getting a kill back. That whole time I was just staring at Veigar, like he's holding a nuke in his hand, that ultimate, and I'm just wondering who he's throwing it at. It looked like he could have got Xin at one point, but I guess he was probably trying to save it for Smolder.
Yeah.
Ended up not getting to use it.
He hit Smolder at one point with a W and got him to about half, and I was wondering if there was an angle to go for, you know, just a flash R. I don't know if he knows for sure that it would kill him from that health, but Smolder has gotten the stacks, so 277 stacks. It's kind of up to FBI and Dhokla, I feel like, you know, to be able to really be that late game carry.
I mean, we're getting to the point, even though 100 Thieves still have the gold lead, and we're not there yet, because NRG also has, you know, Gangplank and Smolder. It's like both teams arming the nukes and getting ready. It's see which ones hit first, because Dhokla now,
he's very rich.
Got his collector as well. Yep, the Gangplank quite rich here, and we might get to see some of those late game you know, chains that we were looking for, those game saving possibilities. 100 Thieves though still very much in the driver's seat here. 5K the gold lead after their Baron push. They still have the possibility of a soul coming up very shortly.
Exactly, and that's the most difficult part here for NRG is every 5 minutes you have to show up, you have to be able to fight that dragon, deny Hex Soul, and if you make a mistake there, the game's just going to end because you have an open base now as well. Palafox, if he gets caught out here, would be devastating, and River's going to go forward. There's the kick. Sonic Wave connects, but doesn't feel like he can take it through. Now going to go in. Palafox dashes back, hits the charm, but the TP is coming in behind Palafox, and he's got to flash out of there. NRG have got to run, but Contractz is caught. Contractz is gone. That's at least Soul. But the question is, are they just going to push and try to end the game? And 100 Thieves posturing aggressively look like they want to do just that. It's going to be up to FBI and Dhokla. They've got to clear this wave. There's the GP ulti, going to get dropped. The cage narrowly does not connect onto FBI, and FBI trying to soften up Sniper. Sniper going to be able to jump back. It looks like NRG will hold here. But did 100 Thieves waste too much time? You know, can they actually buy time now for Contractz to come back up? Sniper going to jump in. There's the Devour onto FBI, as Sniper now in trouble. But Quid pushing FBI back as Sniper was in trouble with no Counter-Strike. Quid just steps forward and pushes the Smolder out. He knows. He's holding that nuke, like you said.
He's threatening the launch.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, I'll press the button.
I kind of wanted to see them keep going with it. You know, like, using the first wave, they got one Nexus turret, and they had a new wave coming in. I would have liked to see them pressure there, but obviously it would have been risky. Not a bad call. They just could fall back to Dragon.
Yeah, and you got guaranteed soul if you just don't die, right? So they're going to be able to go back. Now they have that Hex soul over the top, and they have some champions that really easily apply it. I like the Seraphine with the empowered Q. It's so easy to just get a little bit of tick of damage. The passive autos as well from Seraphine, super long range. So it's going to be very, very difficult for NRG now.
Now, NRG have been our team that have had some of the biggest gold comebacks in the LCS. Not just this split, but throughout the history of this team. And a lot of those come from them getting really sneaky towards this stage of the game. They've been one of the best teams at carving out Fog of War and then going for those surprise plays. And they certainly do, as we went over, have some damage options to make some, game-saving picks. But right now, they're just getting pushed in and corralled.
Well, they're stacking here, and they're going to look for a River. Contractz goes in, pops the Crescent Guard. In goes Palafox to try to follow it up. But it's already, the nuke gets dropped from Quid. FBI is just gone, and you feel like that could be the end of it. But Quid on the other side will fall as well. Dhokla is still alive. He's got to get out of there. Got snipers flashing forward, trying to finish the game. Going to continue piling in. The tower only has one hit, but they don't even need it. There's the Encore coming out there from Eyla, trying to actually root him up. Not going to be able to do so, but Dhokla is going to fall. No way out for him. NRG are gone. 100 Thieves should be able to tie this one up. They just need the minion wave, so they're going to have to do a little bit of waiting to do it, but it looks like it's theirs.
I didn't even see what happened to FBI there. I just blinked and he was gone.
I think he just got flash ulted basically by Quid. Just like Q ult is what I assume happened, because Quid was in the back line, FBI was just deleted, and 100 Thieves marching on the Nexus. Great bounce back game from them. They left the Smolder up, they made the adjustments they needed to, and they're going to be able to take a clean one as River kick flashes FBI in, insult to injury. The Smolder will die on the steps of the Nexus once more. 100 Thieves tied up 1-1.
Great game by River, I gotta say. He looked super good on this Lee Sin.
He was locked in for sure. And already yesterday, we had one of the most exciting series to watch. This one is going to deliver. They even it up 1-1 here. Looking to go the distance again in the lower bracket. This one is an elimination series. So you must win or you are out of playoffs.
A reminder to all you fans at home, you can cast your own votes for Kia MVP and Kia All-Pro this year. Head on over to KiaLCSAwards.com to place your vote. Now, let's head on over to the lounge to break that one down.
Welcome back. 1-1. So what does that mean now?
Oh, what does that mean?
Neither team lost 4 times in a row. Or if the fourth time was they couldn't lose 5 times in a row.
That's true.
There we go.
I suppose. I mean,
they got one in them.
100 Thieves moves to 7-1 when Sniper gets a solo kill.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit to that with the amount of confidence he has after it happens and the way they are able to progress as a team.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
It started pretty bad though.
He has a lot of confidence here when he is invading.
Yeah, so he got the full push in top lane, and the typical one is either you dirty farm immediately afterwards or you mess with the jungle. He messed with the jungle and then he found out.
Yeah, this was a turnaround though. They have the nice Fog of War toggle here again, where River isn't.
Yep. Yeah, actually, pause and rewind, because they pointed this out on cast, but I did like, as we see River kind of, he essentially is gonna path through and ends up doing one of these kind of jukes. I always really, really appreciate how River specifically plays with vision. Like, he's so aware of where his opponents are going to be placing down vision.
Yeah.
We wanted them to step up because the Jax last game wasn't it. A lot of his games against Cloud9 weren't it, but this game, River did it.
Yeah, he did.
It's him.
Yeah. And then this setup, actually, I'd want to pause here really quick because I just want to point out that one big thing earlier on in this game, or in this play setup, Quid, like Palafox was already feinting here that he was going to set up for this play. So Quid had actually already pinged him out right here earlier.
Right.
And then essentially Quid already is then able to take Hex Gates up and join this fight as we play through it. Because that also kind of makes a difference on the backside that he had initially called out. You know what? They are potentially setting up for this play. Ahri is already out of lane.
Yeah, and then Quid makes it too.
And I wanted to make just a note that, like, that was a whiff charm, but in general, Sniper throughout the rest of the game was actually just straight up doing a great job dodging charms, was dodging barrels. They actually ended up using a GP ulti on top of him when they were fighting against Baron, because they couldn't hit him.
This was a 4v5. Sniper had actually died before the fight, using some critical cooldowns, but at this point, the really fast Veigar, like the super speed Veigar, Shirelia's, Senna, Seraphine, all came together and they just got too fed.
Yeah, and even the chat's been also just talking about the issue of scaling. Because after game one, it was pretty much ban Smolder, ban Smolder, ban Smolder. That's what we were echoing too.
Golden Glue didn't listen to chat, neither did River. Look.
Yeah, then Golden Glue was just talking about how they wanted to actually combat scaling, and they ended up going back to the Veigar. So what do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, they had Senna, Seraphine, which we weren't necessarily sure because of the Seraphine changes coming through, but it ended up looking really good. They seemed to really know that they wanted to absolutely slam this top side and make sure that there were no advantages there. So that, again, when you have a Senna, Seraphine kind of composition, it's like, who are we buffing? We're obviously, this Jax is gonna have to pop off. Like, that is gonna be doing a ton of damage. And I also really liked, early on, I was wondering if they would rotate the Senna top side specifically, and they did to contest and take the second grub set, which I also thought was a good play from them.
Yeah, and all of us predicted a 5-game series, so we're halfway there to making it happen. It's 1-1. All we need is 2-2 to get to 5 games. And as we gear up for Game 3, Raz, you sat down with Sniper for our latest MasterCard Player of the Week interview. Take a watch.
What's up, everyone? We got the Week 6 MasterCard Player of the Week, General Sniper. First of all, congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Basically, I'll just rapid-fire questions at you. You have 90 seconds to answer. If there's something you don't want to answer, skip to the next question. Got it?
Yep, yes, sir.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Best advice someone has given to you?
Just have fun and enjoy the moment.
Who gave you that advice?
Myself.
You gave yourself that advice?
Yeah, it's like the first thing that came up to mind, you know?
Okay. Who in the world would you want to solo kill? You have any choice.
Definitely the Shy, or only one choice, you said.
Yeah.
The Shy.
Okay. What did you love, hate most about your streaming career?
I loved just like streaming to the fans that wanted to watch me play. What I hated was like getting distracted by chat 24/7.
Okay, game one guy.
Yeah.
Where does the name General Sniper come from?
So I mean, Sniper came from whatever rhymed with Viper, and Sniper was like the first thing that came up.
Yeah.
And then I also played Call of Duty, so I just like added the General part in it.
Who is the better Riven, you or Viper?
Like all time, I definitely say I'm the better Riven than Viper is.
Yeah.
Because I obviously like peaked higher than he does, or than he ever did. But right now, he's for sure the better Riven.
Better solo queue player, including Crimson?
Honestly, I think Crimson and Viper are better solo queue players than I am right now.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like so focused on like scrimming and stuff. So.
What will you do now that TikTok is banned?
I mean, I don't even go on TikTok, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, I'm just like Instagram and Twitter.
Similarity or annoyance of having a twin?
Yeah,
5 seconds.
Everybody compares us to each other. But yeah, I mean, that's like the only thing I can think of.
Oh, okay. I guess that literally is a similarity and an annoyance. Actually, a question that I have. So do you remember the dance that you did that you got to like 30K followers? I have another challenge. Do you want to get to 40K?
I mean, I'd be down to get to 40K, yeah. Let's do it.
How about, have you heard of Hugo Hilaire on TikTok?
Never heard of that before.
Would you be willing to do this dance if you get to 40K?
Bro, what is... Okay. I'm not gonna even think about doing this dance. This dance is like... It's way too out of my league, you know?
Would you try?
I mean, okay. I wouldn't mind doing it if I got to 40K followers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a handshake deal?
That's a handshake right there, yeah.
First of all, congratulations. Pick this bad boy up.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the pose.
I mean, I just had to show off my biceps, you know? I've been like working out recently, and yeah, I just decided to just like flex for the camera, and it turned out pretty good. I like this a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So nice.
Make more good in the Kia Sportage X Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
Red Bull gives you wings.